And what I want to do is just stress the purpose of the system. And we're in about 4,000 dealers around the world. The goal, the primary goal, is to dramatically increase sales performance. That's it. The bottom line is that if you can measure something, you can improve it. I don't care what it is. If you can measure it, that'll create improvement. If you add intelligent management to that equation, then that improvement's going to compound. And it really just boils down to the basics. The ultimate objective here is to create a system that you can rely on to follow up with unsold customers and develop long-term relationships that makes it easy for you to do that in the same amount of time that you're spending now. So, you know, one of the things I learned years ago from an article in Furniture World magazine was that the average home furnishings consumer is going to spend well over $70,000 in their lifetime. We want them thinking about Houston, Yuma. You know, we don't want to just make a purchase and have them make a purchase and then, you know, get back out on the market the next time they need something. We want to develop that long-term relationship, and that's what we do, is we make it very easy for you to do that with things like automatic emails to unsold customers, automatic thank you letters to unsold customers. And we just make it easy to use a daily to-do list and focus on be-backs. So I wanted to start the meeting off by simply asking if there were any specific questions about how to use the Upboard. Does anybody have any concerns? Does everybody know how to use it? So let me open that up and ask that question. What do you think?
Yes. I think we need a little bit of help with the feedback still and what the process is.
Okay. Well, let's do that then. Let me show you the fundamentals here, and we can revise this Upboard when we're done so that whoever got there first this morning will be set up. So what we want to do is when a customer comes back in that has been in the store before, it's a be-back, all we have to do, and I'm going to go ahead and highlight Carlos's name, and I'm going to select the be-back button. We've all seen that. So let me close this so that it works properly. Hold on. Let me reopen. I had a bunch of things operating at the same time here. Let me go to the Upboard. All right, so I've highlighted Carlos, and I did that by hitting the be-back button. And Carlos is going to work with the customer. They've been in before. He's going to make a sale. You know, the difference between someone that just comes in off the street looking for a bedroom set or a leather sectional is that across the country, the conversion ratio is less than 20%. But if we can bring that same customer back in on the same project, and Joe calls it a project because that's what the woman is thinking about. She's not thinking about just the leather sectional. She's thinking about the whole room, right? So if we can get them back in on that same project, the closing ratio goes over 80%. We know we're going to make that sale if they come back in, right? So Carlos makes the sale. Then what he wants to do is just make sure he highlights his name. You may have several people there that have a be-back. And he wants to come down here and hit Open Opportunity. So if he hits Open Opportunity, it allows him to put in his password. Everybody knows what their password is. And you can select sold or unsold customers. I want to hit refresh, and it brings up everybody that Carlos has ever entered into the system. So I find Mr. Jones or whoever it might be. I select them, and I'm going to go ahead, and I'm not going to save this transaction so I don't goof anything up for Carlos, but I'm just going to select this. And what it'll do is it'll bring up all that customer's information that I've put in. I basically turn it into a sale, put in the sale amount. I'm going to actually do this to show you physically how that works. So I'm going to make it $1,000, and then I'll correct this after the meeting. And basically I want to make sure that everything here's set properly. It's a B-back, so I want to make sure that that's highlighted. And it's an upholstered leather, a sofa love seat. But they also bought some additional items for their office. So I hit the control button on the keyboard, and I hit office. If that's
Hey, Dave, interrupt really
yes,
quick.
ma'am. Yep.
As you're putting the sale amount information in, can you go back up there and explain to the sale and the warrant? We don't really mess with the accessory column,
Okay.
but we can talk about retail sales and the warranty where the information's getting in the system the right way.
Yes, very good. So the main thing we want to focus on is we want to put in the net sale amount. We do not want to include sales tax or delivery because we're not getting paid on that. So we just want to put the net of that written sale into the system. Any questions about that?
Less the warranty on that line, because there is a line that says warranty, guys.
Well,
See that?
well, actually what happens is the warranty amount, the way we've set this up is this is how we calculate. This is a really great question. We are able to track how often you actually have a warranty sale and what your conversion ratios are on that. So let's say you had a $1,000 sale and you sold them some additional warranty fabric protection, let's say. So that was $199. So the total sale was $1,000. The sofa was $800. The fabric protection was $199 or $200. Let's call it $200. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to put the warranty amount in here, and that will track that overall ratio. And I'll show you how that all works. But what we want is we want this to be the total sale amount, not including tax or delivery. But we do want to include the warranty amount. And then we also want to separate that by showing the physical warranty amount that was included in that. And what we're able to learn is we're going to track your total warranty performance and conversion ratios and be able to identify, who's doing a great job and who might need a little assistance there. Is everyone clear on that? We do the same thing with the accessories. So if the total sale is $1,000 and part of that sale also included some accessories, we want to put that accessory amount in here as well if you want to track that activity. But I've got to suggest that for this first 30 or 60 days, Vicki, let's just keep it simple.
I agree.
Honestly, that warranty is important, but it's not as important as the B-back performance. So I'm going to suggest that we not even think about that or play with that for at least the next 30 days.
Okay.
Does everyone agree with that? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would like to suggest that we not do that, and then I'll make a mental note to follow up on that. And you guys do a wonderful job with spiff contests and fun things like that. So let's keep it simple and focus on what's going to make us money. My goal, honestly, is to increase sales by 20% for everybody in the room. That's the minimum, with the same amount of effort and the same amount of time, if we could just do the basics on this system. So the fundamentals are one report that we call the IGGI report. I lovingly call it the IGGI report. It stands for Information Gathering Efficiency, and it's very, very cool. And then the B-back. So let me finalize the B-back and make sure that we're all okay with that. And then the other areas that we want to track that are real simple is, did you get a sketch? Did you do a sketch? Carlos, did you do a sketch? Heck yes.
He got a house call out of it, too.
Okay, beautiful. So that's it. Just check those off, and the system does the rest. Now, I'm basically done here. I might want to come in and check customer details and just follow up with some other things that I want to do with the customer. I might want to call them after the delivery that's set for next Thursday, or I might want to take advantage of, I've made the sale, but one of the more powerful things that I love about something that I established a long, long time ago, and I've got some dealers out there that do an incredible job with this. This could, I don't want to throw any numbers out, but it could really dramatically help you improve sales instantly if you take my advice. So one of the things that I've always strived to do with every single customer that I've ever sold is, because I know the people that I don't sell, what I'm going to focus on for them on the be-back. So I'm getting a little bit off track here, but it's so important that I want to cover it. What I want to do every single time I make a sale, I shake their hand, Mr. Jones, thank you very much for your business. I know you're going to love that sectional. It's going to be fantastic for you. And but I noticed also that you were looking around at the store at a lot of other things. Do you mind if I ask what so I can keep an eye out for you? What's the next item that you're going to be interested in down the road? And I'll keep an eye out for you, and I'll drop you a line if something happens on that area. And they'll tell you, well, we're thinking about getting 2 leather recliners for Father's Day, or we're thinking about getting a couple new bedroom sets for the lake house or whatever in the next few months. And I would say, well, show me what you're talking about, what you like, so I can kind of get that down. And I'm back over there. I guarantee you 20% of the time, I'm going to make a sale right there on the spot, somehow, some way, possibly. Or it's a legitimate thing. I'm waiting until my daughter graduates from blah, 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 and they'll give you all these things that they're planning on doing. But if you get that information and you put that into Trax, Trax will tell you when to follow up with that customer on the next item needed. And this creates a perpetual, long-term, wonderful opportunity where you have permission to follow up and they're expecting your call. So I'm going to say, he's purchasing bedroom sets, so this is a dining room, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to change the date here to, I can change it with the calendar or I can change it here. So I want to follow up. If they tell me 6 months from now, I want to follow up in 3. I want to cut that in half every time, just as a rule of thumb. If they give you a specific date, so I'm going to change this to 5/10. I'm going to put some specifics in here, so they're looking for, you know what I did? I went to the wrong one. Dining room, so I want to put in specifics here. Now, these are the employee actions. So these are the to-do lists. They're going to be automatically emailed to each and every one of you every day if you have a to-do. If you don't have any to-dos, you're not going to get anything. But if you have something you promised a customer you're going to do, it's going to remind you. So I'm going to set up this deal here. I'm going to say they're looking for an 8-piece formal dining room. The President of the United States is coming to visit in July, so we want to be ready for that, or whatever it is. And I put the details in there. I put in, the more information I can put in here right away that I've taken off of my customer profile form, and I'll get into that in just a minute. But the more I can do, the better in terms of this next item needed follow-up. Because if you've developed a relationship of trust, thank you very much, they've just paid you or made arrangements for delivery or whatever, and you say, listen, I want to provide additional service, and I'm here to make sure that you're really a satisfied customer. And does everybody see that? Is there any disagreement on how easy this is and how powerful this can be? Oh. Yeah, it's very, very straightforward, very simple. So whatever that date is, I want to save this to, I want to change this to the 5/10 just for fun. I'm going to change this back to, I want to change the follow-up here because I want to follow up on the delivery. One of the things I always did as well was if somebody had a delivery or they took it home, I'm going to call them and say, hey, is everything okay? How do you like it? Every single time. Now, some people might say, well, what if there's a problem? Well, it's a great opportunity, Sometimes customers, I had one customer that I remember years ago that bought a bedroom set from me, and I ran into them later on, and I said, hey, how's it going? What's going on? They said, well, you know what? When you guys delivered it, we didn't have one piece of hardware on the nightstand, and I never got around to calling you, and I just was embarrassed. I didn't want to bug you about it, but I look at that all the time, and I hate the thing. Such a simple thing, and I would have put that in the mail immediately. He would have put it on, or, it's a great opportunity to show people that if there is a problem, it's when you can really shine, and that's, I think, a great opportunity for us as well. But whatever, so I want to use this as a tool to follow up on the to-dos. And whatever it is, I just want to take advantage of it. So today, after this meeting, I'd like to suggest that you go out and you just try to look at all the features that we have here and how can you use this to help you down the road. So let's get back to the be-back, because that's really what this is all about. So I want to just see if there's anything else in here that I can do. Now,
Dave, I've got a question.
Go ahead.
When we're putting the information in for the customer details, and you've got their last name and their first name, and then you hit tab, it automatically goes to that cell phone number.
Right.
Is that the most important number to put in, or is it the home number? Because I noticed on the Iggy report, I think they want the home number versus the cell number.
Well, it tracks. If you get any number at all, let's say I only get one phone number, and I don't care which one it is, the Iggy report's going to work perfectly. Okay?
Okay, and it will. Okay.
Yeah, so I put it on cell because that's generally the number that I like to get.
Right.
I don't even answer my home phone anymore. I know it's somebody trying to sell me something when I'm eating dinner. So anyway,
I don't even have a home.
it's surprising. Most people are just realizing it's just not worth it. So now I want to show everyone one more cool thing that we've recently added that I think you'll like, and that is, if I'm working with a customer, and let's say that this is not a sale, it's just an opportunity where the customer and we developed a good relationship. It's sometimes it's hard today. It's getting more and more technical, more personal. People are finding ways to shop. Some people might be in there shopping, and then they intend to go look on the internet to see what they can find. And what we really want to do is we want to do our best to let them know that we're really a great company to work with and that we're excited to work with them. Sometimes that relationship that you have with that customer is all the difference in the world, because most of them are smart enough to realize that if they buy something on the internet, they're not going to have someone like you there to help them if there's any issue or question or problem. So that's what we want to do, and one of the things we want to do to get off on the right foot is if they come in and purchase, and we're good enough to develop a relationship of trust where they gave us their personal information, so I'm able to follow up with an email especially, and let's say that we enter them into a contest where if they enter into the contest, they get a wishing well type thing, and they're able to, there's a chance they might win something. There's a couple options we have. I'll talk with Richard and Vicki about a little bit later on. But if I've got their information, I haven't made a sale yet, I'm able to come in here, and this is where you'd enter their email. You put the subject line, whatever that is, and down here you're able to put in a PS on the email that says, I really enjoyed talking with you about something not furniture related, something if sports related, or something you had a conversation with. You may have gone to the same high school together, or they were a couple of years ahead or behind you, and you knew the same teacher. And most of us are good enough to find that some common ground with everybody we talk with. That's what makes it fun to do what we do. So I'm going to try to get some kind of a relationship going, and I'm going to type in something that's not product related. I really enjoyed talking with you about Harley Davidsons or gardening or who knows what. So that's where I would put that. Make it fun, and if you have to, I'm looking forward to meeting your husband Fred, and look forward to seeing you next Thursday at 3 o'clock if you're able to set up a be-back appointment, which is wonderful stuff. So that's where all that would go. And then I'm able to do one more fun thing. I'm able to come in here and choose a file and select a picture of the product that the customer just looked at. Now I'm going to put a photo of my daughter here. She's a school teacher. So whatever the photo is, if you've got a smartphone and you're able to save a photo of the customer sitting on their leather sectional that they're looking at in your store, just for your records, if you're able to develop, and that's a little tricky sometimes, you may want to just use the photos that Ashley provides or whatever. But if you're able to send them a photo of the product they just looked at on an email that gets there before they get home, it's powerful. It's a little bit of extra effort. You don't have to do it, but it's something that we've created that I think makes it fun and very cool for the customer. So any questions at all about that? Okay. So now that I've saved that, I've gotten everything I want, I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to save it. And then finally, I want to make sure that everything's answered properly. We've agreed we're not going to worry about warranty or accessories right now. We know that we're going to put in the net sale amount. And I'm just going to hit, when I'm done, I'm going to hit Save Opportunity. And that'll save all this. It will take Carlos, and you'll see Carlos's name in the BB here. Now, I'm going to cancel this because I don't want this to go in. But then I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to hit, once I've saved it as a sale, I'm going to hit B back again, and the BB goes away. And what that did is it properly recorded that that transaction was a B back. And that's what we want to have happen. Joe Capillo uses 15% as the goal for the B-back performance. And if we can get 15% of the customers back into the system, I think that's a little low and conservative. But if we can do that, the numbers will astound you. Your paychecks are going to explode, I promise you. So are there any questions at all? What do you think? Do we have anybody that doesn't like what I'm talking about? Anybody at all? Are you there? Well, this is good. All right.
They're agreeing at this point because they want to make more money.
Well, and that's what we're trying to do. So I'm always available as well. Vicki has my private cell phone number if anybody has any questions. I want to encourage you to, because I want you to own this. I want you to make it part of your being on the sales floor, because if you do, it's going to dramatically help you. I guarantee that. But if you have any questions or concerns or problems, share those with Vicki, and we have a weekly meeting where, you know, my goal is to do one thing only, and that's to help you attain your goals. Because if I help you attain your goals, then I'm going to hit my goals. So that's really, in a nutshell, what this is all about on the Upboard. Keep it simple, make it fun. Does everyone use the Salesperson DB module?
What's that, Dave?
Okay, so what we have is, from any other computer, you all have the ability to put in a customer transaction on the Upboard. But if you're kind of busy, and that's one of the things that, you know, back when I had my 8 stores, we'd run pretty major advertising in Houston, and I would do a great job getting customers in there, and we would be slammed on Saturday from about 10:30 until about 5 o'clock almost every Saturday. So you're in overflow. You're just managing activity. So what I want to do, if I want to get on the Upboard, is I want to come back here, and if I make a sale, and I'm going to move Carlos back down to the floor again. Oops. When you have multiple things open, it does this to me. Excuse me. So this won't happen to you folks. But anyway, I'm going to move Carlos to the floor. And when I enter an opportunity, or a sale, all I want to do is come into customer details, because I don't want to create a bottleneck at the upboard. So I'm going to put in the customer's name, first name, last name. I'm going to put in their zip code, and I'm going to save it. That's it. I want to get in and out of here as fast as I can. So once I've done that, I come back to the upboard, I answer the basic questions, my zip code's going to show up, it's going to show me the customer's name, and I hit save. That's it. That's all I want to do. It's fast and fun, period. If you've got the time and you want to fill it out and there's nobody waiting behind you, do it right here from the upboard. You know, it's only handle it once is a good way to do things. But if you've got people standing there waiting to enter opportunity, or they want to get their name on the upboard, don't do it at the upboard when you're entering customer information. Come back here to, and I'm going to hit cancel on this to make sure I don't goof up. I'm going to leave this like this for now, and I'll fix that. Now I want to come into reports, or the other module, and everyone has their own, what we call salesperson DB module. And this permits you, from anywhere else on the sales floor, from another computer or from an iPad, you have complete control of your customer information. And it gives you some wonderful tools here. So let me just do, I put in Carlos's password, which Vicki has all those. And what I've done is I've opened a new module where I can actually see the upboard. I can't move anybody around, but I can see that what's going on. And you see that flash just now? Every 10 seconds, if somebody moves their name anywhere or comes on the upboard, it shows you where you are in rotation, even if you're in the warehouse. But there are some other tools in here that are wonderful. So we've got, the most important thing here is the to-do list. So I'm able to come in here, and let me just make sure it comes up, because I think I got interrupted on that. So these are the to-dos for Carlos. So it shows us who the customer is, what their phone number is, if there are any comments that you've put into the system, or the next item needed has been put in there, which is really the most important thing. When that to-do list comes up, if you don't have anything in there, you're not going to know what to do. You know, I know that this customer, and Carlos, you probably know exactly who this is. They're looking at recliners, and you may have a perfect memory and remember exactly what style they looked at or whatever. But I don't have that kind of memory. I'd need to write down some little notes on what it's going to take to turn them into a satisfied customer. And this is all going to show up for you. And the wonderful thing is that when this is set up with your email, it's emailed to you every morning. It comes out at 2 o'clock in the morning, so that when you get to work, it's sitting there waiting for you, or it's sitting there on your smartphone. So any questions about that? That's pretty cool stuff, though, don't you think? All right, so I want to wrap this up by showing you some other tools that we have that are all personalized for each of you, that you have access to from anywhere, including home. If you're at home, and let's say, you know, occasionally you get under the weather, you got a bad cold and you can't go in, but you've got a couple customers that didn't come in when they mentioned that they would, and you want to follow up and say, hey, is everything okay? Can we reset that appointment? And you want to come in here to your customer details. Every single customer you've ever put into the system's in here. And it gives you complete control. It empowers you to really take advantage of these opportunities. These people have taken a lot of your time. They've invested a lot of their time. Where are they at? Sometimes they don't buy one thing from you because, for whatever reason, but they like you so much and you're following up, they're going to come back in next time. Who knows, right? We're just improving our odds every time. So I'm able to come in here. I'm able to, let's just say I want to look for a specific customer. So anybody that I'm looking for that has the combination of MIN and their last name, you know, it makes it pretty simple to find people. If I want to come in here and edit this customer now, I can come in here, I can send that same email type configuration from here. I can send them a photo. We also keep track of all that so that you've got a long history of people that you've worked with. We're also going to show you how to, do private sales, which are if you get quality customer information in here, once we've got enough customers so we can follow up, you have private sales. I've got dealers that tell me that these private sales that they have on a very slow weekday, they'll do more business on that private sale than they do during an average weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's very powerful, and some of my customers do it every month. So it's just taking the time to get people in there. So the last thing I want to wrap up, and then I'll open this up for questions. I don't want to take away any selling time here, is I want to talk about this customer profile form. And let me just open this up real quick here. Here we are. And room design profile. So our profile that I'm about to share with you is specifically customized for your stores. And what it does, every one of us should have a clipboard with 20 or so of those forms on them. The form should be printed front and back on one sheet of paper, and it allows me to enter all the important stuff about the customer if I'm able to get there. The best way to start with this is we've got plenty of room for a nice sketch right here on this document. And I love it when I'm working with someone and I start to do the sketch and the guy takes it out of my hand and starts drawing. I love that. My odds of developing a relationship have dramatically improved. So, and then we've got a lot of specifics on what furniture they're looking at long term, what's the next action, what's the next item needed, any comments or notes that you might have. If you're in overflow on Saturday at 11 o'clock because you got several people waiting for you, you don't want to touch the upboard. I hope we all agree on that. You want to use this form, get it all checked every day, and I always like to have the manager take a look at it as well, just make sure we're all on the same page. I'd like to encourage you to make sure that you let Vicki see your clipboard at the end of the day or periodically through the day, just to get us in the habit. Now what happens if the customer says, "Hey, I'm just looking." They put their hand up. They say, I had a really bad time at the last furniture store. The guy beat me up bad. I just want to look. I'm looking for, a leather sectional. Please come in, make yourself at home. You offer them a beverage, possibly, whatever. You try to melt that barrier down. Sometimes you just can't. That's part of the business. Just can't do it. Sometimes it's somebody shopping you. Sometimes, the customer's just, they're nervous, so they're just not going to give it to you. But what we want to try to do is we want to try to get quality information if we didn't make a sale 50% of the time. And if you can't get information, you still learn a little bit. You notice that this guy's looking for a leather sectional. You might have found out that he came in because he saw your ad, or he's holding a document that part of your advertising, so you know what brought him in, or he mentions the newspaper. So we can check that out. But he didn't give you any information. Just take NA or no, NI, no info, or whatever, big letters on the front of this, or whatever. Or up on top, so you keep it neat, because you might get them back in. But you get one of these customer profile forms every time. They cost about 1/2 of a penny a piece, and we don't care about wasting paper. We want to get even if you didn't get anything, you just get the basics so you can track them. And that's really, I think, the most important thing. If we can get a customer profile form every time and do our sketches on this document, things will get great. Now, Vicki and I talked a little bit this morning, and she came up with a great idea for a spiff contest for everyone around this next item. And if I may, I'm going to go ahead and show you how we set it up and use it. And we'll kick it off to any questions, and then we'll start the day. So what we're able to provide, one of the things I invented years ago, was this Iggy report that I mentioned. It's right here. It's called Information Gathering Efficiency, IGE, IGE. That's also the name of our big cat. That's our mascot. So here it is. Now, we're able to see how many total opportunities were entered at each store and for each salesperson. How many were sold, so of course you show the closing ratio, this is pretty close to average across the country. I do have some dealers that are pushing, much higher numbers, and I want to get there with everyone here. And the B-backs are the key to that. I mean, you don't have control of new traffic, but you do have complete control of follow-up or B-back traffic. So now, when you make a sale, we know that you get the customer's information 99% of the time, so we don't care about that with this specific report. What this report tracks is if you didn't make a sale, how many times did you get quality information? How many times did you get a phone number? How many times did you get an address? And trust me, if I can get a phone number or an address, I can get the other very easily. Same thing with the email. All I have to do is ask. Once they've given me one of those, we've developed that trust, that's easy. So the thing that I want to focus on with this contest is this next number, the both collected percentage for the IGE. That's phone numbers and addresses, because we need to have the address if we want to do. There's one important thing that you may not be aware of that Richard might be interested in down the road, and that is sending out postcards to these folks as a thank you or a follow-up or an invitation or a holiday. So we want to get their address if we can. We want to get their phone number. Obviously, that's, I think, key to follow up and bring them back in. Sometimes if you don't get that, they can not respond to an email or whatever. You just don't know. So, and then the emails are a totally separate thing, but it's very powerful and very easy to use. Now that you know that you've got the ability to send emails to customers, I think that it's just going to be automatic that that's going to improve. But this is the number we want. We want this number to be at 50% minimum. That's the goal. A couple of you folks are doing a great job with that. Carlos is doing a great job with that. But we want to start the contest effective this morning. And I'd like to see the contest run for, the psychologists say it takes 21 days to turn a skill into a habit. So we want to just get into the routine. So I want this contest, if it's okay with you, Vicki, because you're the ultimate decision maker here, but my suggestion would be to run it from this morning and then cut it off on the 14th of March, which is so that we can have a nice meeting that 15th of March, Saturday morning.
Okay.
So if that works for you, and then Vicki, what were the numbers that you were thinking about?
We were going to do whoever has the most. What was it? The most increase?
Well, the highest IGE percentage here.
Highest IGE.
Yep.
Top person will get $200. Oh, I just heard somebody go, and then it'll go to 150, 100, 50, and so on. And
then 40, 30, 20, 10, and
right.
Then everybody that we don't want to give you $10. So that's the goal.
Everybody $10. Although I'm going to give them $5 this morning if they answer the question right. So.
Oh, good. Okay. So, well, that's all I have, folks. Are there any questions at all about anything?
We covered pretty much everything.
I really tried to get it all done. So, listen, have a wonderful day. Vicki has my private cell phone number. If there's any questions, any issues, I need to know about it. And thank you very much. I really appreciate your time.
Dave,
Thank you.
we'll talk to you this next week, Dave. Thank you.
Very good. Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye.